Ever wondered how a conflict sentinel can turn the tides of a battle single-handedly? Welcome to the fascinating realm of role-playing, where conflict sentinels, guardians of the battlefield, wield their unique skills to safeguard their allies and thwart their adversaries. Their prowess lies in their mastery over skills of the mighty, each one a testament to their strategic acumen and fighting spirit. From expert shadowing, a 9th rank skill that allows them to bolster their allies' defenses, to weapon parry, a skill that turns their weapons into shields, each ability of a conflict sentinel is a game changer in the heat of battle. They are the shieldsman, the security vanguard, the master of obstruction and retaliatory strike. Their role is not just to fight, but to guard, to protect, and to ensure their team's victory against all odds. Fasten your seatbelts as we delve into the world of conflict sentinels and their extraordinary abilities. First up, we have expert shadowing, a skill that effectively uses excess defense. This 9th rank plus skill of the mighty is exclusive to conflict sentinels. It allows any leftover defense from a round to be added to an ally's defense, rather than being designated at the beginning of the round. This means that if a conflict sentinel doesn't use all of their defense for themselves, it doesn't go to waste. Instead, it bolsters the defense of their allies. This can be the difference between victory and defeat in a close battle. Imagine being on the brink of defeat, only to have your defense boosted by an expert shadowing conflict sentinel. The tide of battle can shift in an instant. This skill ensures that every bit of defense is put to good use, providing a safety net for those in the line of fire. Expert shadowing, a skill that ensures no defense goes to waste. From shadowing to guarding, let's explore the guardsman skill. This skill is a testament to the protective instincts of conflict sentinels. It's an ability that allows them to extend their defense to their allies, a true demonstration of their commitment to the team. At the heart of guardsmen are 3 skill of the mighty levels, each bringing a new dimension to this protective skill. To start, there's the sentry level, attained at the 9th rank. This level allows a conflict sentinel to perform shadowing on not 1, but 2 allies without splitting the allocation. It's like having an extra layer of armor, courtesy of your sentinel teammate. Whatever the sentinel can afford to give to one ally, he can give to both. Moving up the ranks, we reach the watchman level at the 11th rank. Here, the protective instinct intensifies. A watchman can lend his leftover defense, undivided, to 3 individuals within his extended melee range. It's like having a personal bodyguard, ready to shield you from harm. Finally, at the zenith of this skill, we find the Sentinel Guardsman at the 13th rank. Here, the Sentinel's protective reach extends even further. He can now lend his defense to 4 allies. It's the ultimate demonstration of the Sentinel's commitment to safeguarding his team, a protective force that strengthens the entire group. But remember, the distribution of defense isn't just about numbers. It's about strategy, about understanding the dynamics of the battlefield, and about knowing when and where to lend your strength. It's a skill that requires foresight, a keen understanding of your allies' strengths and weaknesses, and an unwavering commitment to their safety. With Guardsmen, a conflict sentinel can lend a helping hand, or rather, a helping shield. It's a skill that embodies the very essence of what it means to be a sentinel, a protector, a guardian, a bulwark against the storm. And in the heat of battle, it's a skill that can make all the difference. Moving on, let's uncover the power of weapon parry and shieldsman. A conflict sentinel's versatility doesn't end with expert shadowing or acting as a guardsman. In fact, their prowess further manifests in their ability to wield their weapons defensively through the skill of the mighty, known as weapon parry. Weapon parry enables a conflict sentinel to use the shaft, haft, or blade of their weapon as a shield, blocking incoming attacks. The chances of a successful parry vary depending on the weapon in hand. With a one-handed weapon, the chances are 1 out of 5. If a sentinel wields 2 one-handed weapons, the chances double, becoming 2 out of 6. For a two-handed weapon, it's 1 out of 4. An Exo two-handed weapon offers a 1 out of 3 chance, while a Behemoth two-handed weapon provides a 1 out of 2 chance for a successful parry. This defensive skill is a testament to the Sentinel's adaptability in the heat of battle. But what about when the Sentinel is not just fighting for themselves, but also protecting an ally. This is where the Shieldsman skill comes into play. Shieldsman is an option available to Conflict Sentinels and Scarab-style martial artists of 8th rank or higher. This skill leverages the Sentinel's peripheral vision and quick hand-eye reaction speed to shield another individual within melee range. Despite this defensive focus, the Sentinel still retains half of their shield chance. It's a skill that truly embodies the selfless nature of a Conflict Sentinel, always prioritizing the safety of their comrades. Imagine a battlefield where Conflict Sentinels stand as bulwarks, parrying blows with their weapons and shielding their allies with unmatched agility. It's a sight that would instill courage in their allies and fear in their enemies. Whether parrying with a weapon or shielding an ally, a Conflict Sentinel is always ready to defend. Next, we have two skills that showcase the strategic prowess of a Conflict Sentinel: Security Vanguard and Obstruction. Let's start with Security Vanguard, a skill of the mighty that is virtually the opposite of the gladiatorial skill of Blood Rage. This skill requires the Conflict Sentinel to forgo any melee attacks. You heard that right. No melee attacks may be launched by a Conflict Sentinel employing this technique. Instead, the entirety of a Conflict Sentinel's melee attack is subtracted and added to his or her defense. This might sound like a disadvantage, but in reality, it bolsters their defensive capabilities tremendously. Security Vanguards usually employ a one-handed or combination melee weapon or pistol. Now, this isn't a permanent state. It takes no time to resume normal fighting maneuvers, but this shift must be stated at the beginning of the round. Transitioning from Security Vanguard, let's delve into Obstruction. Under normal conditions, it is not possible for an individual to block more than one opponent from making a hand-to-hand attack on an ally. But with Obstruction, a Conflict Sentinel can do just that. With the basic Obstruction, an 8th rank skill of the mighty, a Conflict Sentinel can block 2 opponents. If selected again at 9th or higher, the advanced level can block 4 opponents. These adversaries are forced to fight the Conflict Sentinel before proceeding to their true quarry because he or she is blocking all paths to their friends. An Expert of Obstruction, a skill open to Conflict Sentinels at 11th rank, impedes 6 opponents. These two skills, Security Vanguard and Obstruction, when wielded effectively, can completely change the dynamics of the battlefield. They allow a Conflict Sentinel to control where and how the fight happens, protecting their allies and disrupting their enemies in the process. With Security Vanguard and Obstruction, a Conflict Sentinel can control the battlefield dynamics. Finally, we have the Retaliatory Strike, a skill that turns misses into opportunities. The Retaliatory Strike can be honed up to 6 times as a skill of the mighty by Conflict Sentinels. It's a game changer, literally. When first selected at basic level, it means that if an opponent narrowly misses striking with his melee attack versus defense roll by just 1, the Conflict Sentinel seizes the moment for an extra hand-to-hand attack. And the beauty of it is that this does not interfere with his other actions in that round. But it doesn't stop there. When selected a second time, the Advanced Retaliatory Strike comes into play. Now, if the enemy's hit roll misses by 1 or 2, this extra attack may be made. This skill is not limited by the number of enemies. Retaliatory strikes can be made against any amount of enemies that fail by the required amount in their hit roll. Retaliatory Strike turning near misses into striking victories. From Expert Shadowing to Retaliatory Strike, we've covered a lot today. We began with Expert Shadowing, a skill that allows Conflict Sentinels to efficiently use their leftover defense to back up an ally. We then delved into Guardsman, where the Sentinel can share this defense with multiple allies, enhancing their protective capabilities. We also discussed Weapon Parry and Shieldsman, skills that enable the Sentinel to use their weapon or shield to defend themselves and others. Then we explored Security Vanguard, a technique that transforms the Sentinel's attack power into a formidable defense, making them an unyielding fortress in battle. Next, we looked at Obstruction, a unique skill that allows a Sentinel to block multiple opponents, protecting their allies. Finally, we examined Retaliatory Strike, an ability that grants the Sentinel an extra attack when an enemy narrowly misses their strike. With their unique skills, Conflict Sentinels can truly turn the tide of any conflict. So are you ready to step into the shoes of a conflict sentinel?